Hello everyone, Wellstarbursts here, and welcome to the second episode of my Minecraft building tutorial series, Creative Mode. If you don't already know about this series, I will be explaining the elements and principles of design such as shape, color, contrast, and the like, and how they can relate to building in Minecraft. Oh, and I'm using the VoxelBox Halcyon texture pack throughout the series. And at specified times, I will also use the VoxelBox Organics texture pack. This week, we will review the elements of value and color. Things are boring without color, so today we will learn about how colors go together and create an impression on spectators with the use of a color wheel. But to fully understand color, we first need to learn about value. Value is the representation of how much light there is in a block. This should not be confused with the in-game lighting engine. The value of a block depends on the amount of white or black that the block has in it, and therefore, it also depends on the amount of light that it can reflect. We'll start with some monochromatic blocks, like obsidian and white marble. Something that is perfectly black has no light reflecting off of it. A white block, such as marble, is white because all colors of light reflect off of it. There's also a middle ground between perfectly black and perfectly white, and we call these colors grays. There are many blocks in the Halcyon texture pack that belong in this middle ground. Most of them are stone-type blocks. All of the values of black and white match, and so making builds with them are very easy. Monochromatic builds are fun and all, but to really add some life to your build, you need actual colors. So I introduce to you our dear friend, the color wheel. There are 12 colors in the color wheel, which represent the spectrum of colors that we see. If you take a look at any segment, the surrounding colors will slowly evolve into different colors until you get back to where you started. Also, there are blocks in Minecraft that represent each of the sections of the color wheel. Some blocks don't quite match any colors though, and this is because they are neutralized. We'll get to neutralization in a second though, but let's first take a quick look at the Organics texture pack and study some color value and color harmony while we're at it. Many of the blocks in the Organics texture pack are dedicated to represent only colors rather than textures. Its creator, Kupo did this for a variety of reasons, but she incorporated all of the colors of the color wheel in the pack. So let's do a quick study of basic color theory. We have our three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Mixing those in different ways grants you with orange, green, and purple. We call these secondary colors. Mixing these with other primary and secondary colors in various ways gets you the tertiary colors. So these are the 12 colors of our wheel, and there are different ways in which these can be matched. Let's take a look at complementary colors. If you take two colors that are on opposite sides of each other on the color wheel, you will get complementary colors. Most people like the way these colors look together. When you mix two complementary colors together, they tend to become browner or grayer, or they become neutral. Neutral colors are the opposite of bright and bold, but they can still add more life to your build than gray values can, and they can do it without overwhelming your senses like bright and bold colors would do. Let's add all of our neutral colors to the color wheel and see what we get. You'll see that most of the woods are red and oranges, while most of the metals are blue, and everything else is somewhere in between. Even though these colors are neutralized, they work together just the same as bold and bright colors do. Now, back to the Organics texture pack. We also have different values of colors, just like we have different values of black and white. These colors with value appear darker or lighter than their base, which is shown on the color wheel. Examples are things like dark purple and sky blue. Both are purples and blues, respectively, but they just appear darker and lighter than their base. Valued colors will work just the same way as their non-valued counterparts. Just be aware that using darker colors more will make your build look gloomy, and brighter colors will have the opposite effect. Sometimes having a good balance of both can work really well. Take DreamRx's house for example. The build uses a few light and dark values, but it also incorporates lots of mid-ranged values. You'll also notice that it uses complementary colors in the form of neutralized green and red. The red comes from the wood portions of the build, and the green comes from the stone that he used. There's also something called split complementary colors, in which you take one color and take the two colors that are adjacent to its complement. An example of split complementary colors would be this pillar I made. It has blue, reddish-orange, and yellow-orange. I used the reddish-orange and the blue as highlights because of their bold coloring. This keeps them balanced. You will also almost never want to use only big, bright, and bold colors in your build. It's best to have mostly neutral colors, but draw attention to various spots of your build with brighter colors. There are also analogous colors, which are just colors that appear next to each other on the color wheel. Technically, you could take all 12 colors of the color wheel and call them analogous, but building with 12 different colored blocks would make a build look very busy. Instead, 4 or 5 colors should suffice if you also blend in some gray valued blocks. A good example of this is the village of Kaldekar. It uses red in the wood, purplish red, purple, and purplish blue for the roofs. Now, different types of colors make people feel differently about builds. There are warm and cold colors. Warm colors are usually reds, yellows, and oranges, and they give off the feeling of warmth. Take a look at this kitchen. Because of the spacing of the pieces of furniture and the colors that I used to make it, it has a warm and cozy feeling to it. There are also cold colors, which are mainly blues. We relate these colors to cold water and ice, just like the kind that is present on the mountains of Skull. Blacks, whites, and grays are influenced by the colors that surround them. White next to a warm color will look warmer, and white next to a cold color will look cold. Lots of times, whites tend to go better with cold colors though, because we think of snow when we see white. Black tends to be better with warm colors because we think of burnt things such as charcoal when we see black. And that's a basic explanation of color and color harmony. I hope you guys enjoyed, and remember, if you'd like to learn more, then check out my channel at youtube.com/Wellstarbursts. Special thanks to all these guys who were kind enough to contribute their builds to the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.